So, what if I told you that some of the most powerful, battle-tested strategies for navigating reality, they aren't found in business schools or self-help books? What if they're hidden in plain sight, encoded in the lyrics of society's most uncompromising voices? Well, let's dive in and see just where this idea takes us.
You know, in a world this complex, it really feels like our traditional sources of knowledge, the big institutions we're supposed to rely on, are failing to give us real, functional answers. So the question is, where do you turn for wisdom that actually works when the pressure's on?
And this really gets to the heart of what we're exploring. On one hand, you've got these institutional frameworks, sterile theories that look great on paper, but often just collapse under real pressure. But on the other hand, you find these underground codices. These are battle-tested operating systems for reality, forged in the toughest environments and encoded directly into music. So in this explainer, we're going to decode a few of these lyrical manuals. But here's the twist. We're not going to analyze them as art. No, we're treating them as what they are, pragmatic, functional guides for how to operate in the world. And this right here, this is the crucial point. The source material argues these songs contain what it calls functional ontologies. Okay, that's a fancy term, but all it really means is that they are complete philosophical systems, and they're designed with a crystal clear purpose to achieve specific real-world outcomes. Think of them as actual architectures for living. All right, so how does this actually play out? Let's start with two systems designed for survival and, yes, success in high-stakes, zero-trust environments. We're talking about places where one wrong move can literally be your last. First up, we've got System Alpha. This is derived from the notorious Big's 10 Crack Commandments. And for a second, I want you to completely forget that it's a rap song. See it as a rigorous business manual for managing a high-risk enterprise. Its absolute genius is in how it systematically removes the human errors, bias, emotion, all the stuff that so often leads to catastrophic failure.
And the tactical precision here? It's just brilliant. Rule 4 isn't just a catchy line. It's a core principle of product-market separation. It's about avoiding conflicts of interest. Rule 5? That's classic operational security. And Rule 7 creates what you could call an emotional firewall, preventing personal feelings from ever corrupting your strategic judgment. It's a cold but brutally effective algorithm for survival.
Now, let's pivot to a completely different kind of system. This one is captured perfectly in this one line from Tupac Shakur. It highlights this incredible contradiction. You have the spoils of success, but also the deep, deep wounds it takes to get there. This is the absolute heart of his worldview. We'll call this one System Gamma, the paradox engine. See, for Tupac, ambition isn't just a tool you use to get something else. Ambition is the identity. It's an engine that runs on pure anxiety and paranoia. And yeah, it produces incredible success, but it fully acknowledges that it's on a terminal trajectory. And right here, the trade-off is laid out clear as day. The achievement, the plush cars, the rap star life, it's directly fueled by its cost. The scars, the constant vigilance. This system accepts as a core principle that the engine of ambition will eventually burn itself out. That's not a bug in the system, it's a feature. Okay, so we've seen a couple of systems for navigating the external world. Now let's turn inward and look at 3 different blueprints for constructing a coherent and functional identity. Meet System Beta, the materialist reduction engine. This one comes from that classic cowboy ethos. You've got a poet searching for some abstract truth, and the cowboy just cuts right through all the noise. This system is an incredibly powerful tool for eliminating confusion and decision paralysis by focusing only on what is tangible, measurable, and useful. Now, these 4 keys aren't just simplistic desires. They're pragmatic vectors for optimizing your reality. Faster horses isn't really about horses. It represents technology and a competitive advantage. Younger women, that's about social and reproductive success. Older whiskey is the value of refined, tangible experience. And more money? Well, that's security and, most importantly, options. It's a worldview that finds its power by simply refusing to engage with anything it can't directly measure. This quote from Eazy-E is the perfect way into our next system. Just notice the logic here. The actions he's describing, they aren't about social justice or even just getting wealthy. They're about reinforcing a very specific identity, one that intentionally rejects conventional morality. And that brings us to System Delta, the performance ontology protocol. The core idea here is that your identity is a conscious act of creation. Eazy-E's gangster persona? It's a chosen role, and he makes it real through total, unwavering commitment. When he says robbing was just a hobby, he reveals the system's secret. The actions exist to maintain the identity, not the other way around. Through sheer consistency, the performance becomes authentic reality. And now for our final and maybe most philosophically complex system. This one comes from The Who, and the crucial insight is right there in the lyrics. The goal isn't to get what you're after. The goal is the pursuit itself.
We call this one System Epsilon, the perpetual query architecture. This framework basically rejects all fixed answers and all ideologies. It finds its integrity not in a belief, but in the process of unending questioning. And it totally recognizes the social cost. You hear it in the line, "People tend to hate me because I never smile." It chooses cognitive flexibility and intellectual honesty over the comfort of certainty, every single time.
So we have 5 distinct, powerful operating systems, and each one was forged in a different reality. But what's the meta framework? I mean, how do we choose which one to run?
Okay, and here you can see the trade-offs so clearly. Each system is a tool, and it's optimized for a specific job. And this is the important part, each one comes with a cost. Algorithmic survival gets you incredible risk management, but it costs you trust. The materialist engine gives you radical clarity, but it might sacrifice meaning. So the key isn't finding the one correct system, it's understanding the function and the cost of each one.
And this, right here, is the real takeaway from all of this. True wisdom isn't about committing to a single manual for life. It's about developing the skill of knowing which manual to pull off the shelf for the specific challenge you are facing right now. It is all about conscious framework selection. So, as our traditional ways of thinking seem to be faltering, these underground codices offer proven alternatives, functional, battle-tested architectures for reality. The only question left is the one you have to answer for yourself. Which manual does your situation demand?